Today I'm going to show a bind off to use on ribbing. Either double bed work on a Passap, on a Brothers Silver Reed, any of those, even G carriage work. When it comes to ribbing, I do my ribbing, and for the last 2 rows I do a very large roll of the ribbing, and then I scrap off. So my yellow here is the scrap off. Now here's my scrap off, and when I want to start binding off, I put my ends of the threads on this side, and I go over to this side where there aren't any ends. Now you see the white here would be where the last stitch will be. So I start over here with the bind off, and you can see I've done this already, but I will just show you where I start, on what end. Then I come over to this side. I've gotten this far here. We're just about to the end. And what I do is, this is 2 strands together on a Passap, a baby blanket on a Passap. So here I've got these 2 stitches behind the latch, and this is called a turtleneck stitch, and I'm going to pull that one through. Now here's a knit stitch. See the V? See the V of my knit stitches? So I take the left leg of the knit stitch and pull it through. The turtleneck of the next one, pull it through. Left leg, pull it through. I purposely went all the way here to the end so I could show you at the very end how to finish it off. But you would just follow this all the way. Here we go again. I guess I would like you to talk to yourself out loud. Left leg of the knit stitch, the turtleneck of the purl. So if the phone rings, I can pull it like so and run to the phone and come right back to it. And that was that purl stitch. Here's that V stitch for a knit, left leg. Here's the purl stitch. Guess I pulled that too tight. I'm going to have to work in there, loosening it up. This usually happens when there's a loose thread hanging there. Okay, and now we're going to do the knit stitch, the left leg of the knit stitch. There it is. Pulling it up to see where I'm at. There's that turtleneck. And then here would be the knit stitch again. Oh, it looks like some of it unravels here. All right. I just have to get in here and knit that stitch again, right here, and pull it through. And then go like so and knot it. Now I can take all of the scrap yarn off. When it comes to these baby blankets, we do a lot of them and finish with the scrap yarn. I just tie it right back on an empty spool and continue wrapping it on. I'll show you this blanket as the finished one after all the scrap is off, and bury the ends. Not only is this used on blankets and afghans or shawls, but anytime you're using a ribber, we have this on the Socks for All Seasons. It's made in a long strip. It's made in a long strip, and we start with ribbing. Actually, I like my bind off better than the cast on. We start with ribbing, we knit the whole strip, and we end with my 2 bigger rows of a larger tension, and then scrapping it off and pulling 1 stitch through the other. And when I pull 1 stitch through the other, you get a wonderful hand knit look bind off. Do you see how my stitches zigzag? And that's what we want to achieve. And there's a lot of elasticity to it, enough elasticity to it to give it so you can actually use it on cuffs. Here's another form that I have used it on, is a scarf. Double rib scarf. Double bed scarf. Here's my cast on row. Here's my bind off row. And in this pattern, and tells you the technique in this book, and in the other book of Socks for All Seasons that we just showed, the technique is in here. I would like to show you how it looks. Okay, and the next, it's also in the rib bind off from scrap also is in our Fiber World book, so you have it in 3 different books. Want to show you this picture. This is how that sock looks when you start with ribbing and come all the way down and end in ribbing. And this looks wider because it's got scrap on it. And then we do the bind off like I just demonstrated, and then to sew the sock together, and it does show how to do it. Give it a try and enjoy.